Coming to the topic of the video today, which is moratorium period, right? These are a bunch of questions which we've seen our students ask us all the time. What is the moratorium period? Examples of different banks moratorium periods. Second, they ask what are the payment terms during the moratorium period. Third question, which is very commonly asked, is simple interest payment calculations during the moratorium period. And last but not the least, do banks offer full moratorium period with zero payment during the course? And any examples and conditions, pros and cons of this, right? I'll ensure that in this video I'll cover all of these aspects of a moratorium in education loan. Now, what is the definition of moratorium period, right? Moratorium period is a payment holiday given to you so that you can finish your education, settle down with your new job, stabilize your life, and then start paying EMI, right? What are the different types of courses for which students go abroad, either for bachelor's or master's? As you can see in the table, moratorium period is available with government banks for both bachelor's and master's. But the disadvantage with government banks is government banks only approve secured loans against collateral. Collaterals being either your residential property or fixed deposit in most of the cases. When it comes to private banks like ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, IDFC First Bank, Yes Bank, they don't provide any moratorium for bachelor's courses. They only provide moratorium for master's courses. They do this with an assumption that post bachelor's most of the student opt for a master's course and then they won't be in a position to start paying immediately. And hence the moratorium period is not available for bachelor's courses for private banks. When it comes to NBFCs like HDFC Credila, Avance, Incred, Oxilo, and many more, for bachelor's courses, there's no moratorium period. For master's courses, they generally offer a moratorium period. Now, the next obvious question which comes to mind is how long is this moratorium period, right? Moratorium period generally is course duration plus 6 to 12 months, or you get a full-time job, whichever happens earlier. Say you graduated in 2027 of March, and that means 6 months down the line or 12 months down the line your EMIs are supposed to start, right? But if you end up getting a job in first 2 months itself, then yes, your EMI will start from as soon as you've gotten the job, right? This helps all the students manage their cash flow, especially they're going to a new country, stabilizing, getting a job. All this can be a stressful experience. Keeping all these things in mind, banks have offered moratorium period to make students' life easier and allow them to embark on their journey of dream university admission followed by a dream job. Moratorium period depends on many factors. Primarily, what we have seen is it depends on university, country, course, and financial strength of the co-borrower. It may vary lender to lender because not everybody comes from the same financial background. Not everyone is going to the same university. Not everybody is going to the same country. Not everybody is going for masters. Not everybody is going for bachelors, right? And hence, it's best that you reach out to our team by booking a free consultation call using the link which is there in the description, and we'll be more than happy to answer all your questions specifically with your case. Next question which have always been asked is payment terms during moratorium period. There are 4 different types of payment terms during the moratorium period. And definition of payment terms is what are you expected to pay banks during the time of moratorium period, right? Now the worst scenario is direct EMI. That means the EMI starts immediately after you have disbursed the loan from very next month, which is the worst scenario from the perspective of pressure of paying back your loan without having a job in hand. Second is a partial simple interest, where bankers expect you to pay 5 to 10,000 rupees per month so that you get into a discipline of paying education loan back so that it doesn't become out of sight, out of mind, right? Third is a full simple interest during moratorium. That means the interest month on month has to be paid to the bank during the entire moratorium period. And fourth, which is the best case, which I'm sure all of you students want, is zero payment during moratorium period. Now, as you can see in the table, for different types of courses, I have highlighted what options are possible. For government banks, for both bachelor's and master's, zero payment during moratorium period is possible. For private banks, for bachelor's, direct EMI is the only possibility. In very exceptional cases where the financial background of the student is very, very good, you might get 2, 3, 4 as an option. In masters, generally all 4 options are possible for private banks. With NBFCs, which I explained earlier, like HDFC Credila, Incred, Avance, Oxilo, for bachelors, there's direct EMI. For masters, there's partial simple interest, which is 5 to 10,000 rupees per month needs to be paid to these banks. Now that you're either paying interest rate in terms of simple interest, partial interest, EMI, or no interest payment during moratorium period, the immediate next question is, how do these banks calculate interest during this time frame, right? And based on different cohorts of consumer, we have put down 3 case studies which I'll take you through over next 3 slides. But before that, I want to address, there's a myth about interest being calculated during moratorium period. A lot of students are misinformed by multiple players in the industry that during the moratorium period there is zero interest. That's not the case, right? Interest is applicable during moratorium period. It's just that whether you're paying it at that point of time or it gets accumulated in your principal and compounded, right? That's the only differentiator with these payment terms options which are available to you. Of course, from the pressure perspective, it's best to have least amount of payment during your course duration. Hence, you can start paying EMI once you've gotten a steady job. The next question people ask is, then how frequently is this interest charged, right? Interest charging happens on monthly basis. Whether you pay or not defines if that interest is added to your principal and your principal keeps growing, or your principal remains the same. The next question a lot of students ask me, is the interest applicable on the entire sanction amount which I have, or it's only on the disbursed amount? So the answer to this question is very simple. They will only charge you interest on the disbursed amount, and disbursement of education loan is completely based on what you need. You may have 75 lakh rupees of education loan sanctioned, and you can choose to only take 25 lakh rupees of disbursement out of that. No banker can push you to take the entire education loan in the disbursement. Now the case study 1, right? Full simple interest payment is the case which we'll look at. Say assume the sanction limit for you was 75 lakh rupees and interest rate for the specific case was 10% for the simplicity of calculations, and you're going for fall 2024 admit to US. You took a disbursement of 50 lakh rupees on 1st August to pay your fees. Interest amount payable in September, because as soon as the first month is completed, you're expected to either pay interest or bankers will add that interest to your principal, right? So at 10% per annum interest rate divided by 12 months into 50 lakh, the interest amount comes to 41,660, right? This interest amount, if you are in full simple interest payment, that means in September you are expected to pay this 41.66 thousand, and that means your principal for the very next month, right, will become 50 lakh rupees plus 41.66 minus 41.66 the interest which you have already paid, and hence the principal doesn't change and it remains 50 lakh. Of course, because the principal hasn't changed, the interest amount for October also remains at 41.66. Let's take the second case where you're expected to pay partial simple interest. Similarly, same as the earlier case, sanction limit disbursed amount, all these variables are kept the same so that you understand differences between these cases, right? As we calculated, the first month's interest remains the same because the calculation for that is 10% divided by 12 into 50 lakh, right? So 41.66k is the first month's interest payable. But because you are in partial simple interest payment term during the moratorium period, let's assume you only paid 10,000 rupees per month. That means the additional 31,660 rupees of interest now gets added to your principal for the interest calculation of October 2024. And hence, as you can see, the principal amount here has increased from 50 lakh rupees to 50.3166 lakh. Now the October month's interest rate will be calculated on this 50.3166 lakhs, and hence you can see the interest amount has slightly increased. This is also called as compounding, right? And this is true for all financial institutions which give you education loan. There are no exceptions to this rule. Compounding will happen for all financial institutions. I hope this is clear. By paying partial simple interest, you are just saving yourself today of the pressure of paying the entire interest amount or EMI, but the interest which you have not paid for the month gets added to your principal amount, and the principal amount will keep growing, right? So the choice is yours in terms of what moratorium payment term you should choose, and also depends on what financial situation you have at home, right? Not many students may have the capability to service the entire partial simple interest. They may choose partial simple interest as an option out of necessity. Third is a zero interest payment. Imagine when you're paying 10,000 rupees interest per month, the principal was growing from 50 lakh rupees to 50.3166 lakh. Now when you are not paying any interest, the principal in September is now going to grow to 50.4166 lakh. Interest amount in October 2024 hence will become 42,000 from 41.66 thousand, right? This compounding will keep on happening when you are paying zero interest payment. Though all of you are looking at zero interest payment options, but you should understand the con of this is that the principal will keep increasing day in, day out, right? And that's something which you have to be cognizant of. I know these concepts could be very, very complicated for you to understand, and hence it's best that you speak to an expert like our team who have done more than 350 students education loan, doing 70 crore rupees of loan sanction. Our experience will help us guide you in the right direction, choose the best options for you. That brings me to the fact that what service does Peaceful Loan even provide, right? As you can see in this video, we educate you guys. We help you with your cost benefit analysis. Research education loan for parents so that we can get the present options in the market in front of them. Help them choose between private lenders, public banks, NBFCs. Help parents negotiate with banks and save money. At the end of the day, all of us want to save money. A rupee saved is a rupee earned. I'm sure all of you have heard this phrase. Help with documentation and process all the way till disbursement. This is very important because many of you would be working, may not have time. Your parents will also be busy. Monday to Friday, you are at job. Saturday, Sunday, when you are free, the banks are not open. It becomes a mess in terms of managing this entire operations, right? Allow our team, which is expert in this, with great relationship with bankers, to take care of this for you. And of course, with such a big decision of taking loan, also comes the fact that you want to speak to somebody who can help you time to time, right? And our team is accessible to address any doubts, any questions you may have during the entire loan process. Why should you choose Peaceful Loan? You can always go to the bank on your own, right? We are free of cost service for the students, and hence you don't have to pay a dime to us. Who doesn't like a free service, right? When you can sit sit back, relax when my team works hard and ensures that we bring the best solution to you. Second is, by going to a individual bank, you're never going to be able to compare multiple loan options available in the market. Third is, we take care of privacy of your data. We don't share your contact details or any of your sensitive financial data with anyone. Fourth is industry expertise, right? I'm sure many of you must have taken counseling for which university to go to. There are merits of doing admission process through counseling. You guys have all experienced that. Similarly, getting counseling for your education loan is equally important. It can save you lakhs of rupees. And lastly, a deep knowledge in terms of which process takes how much time with each of these financial institutions allows you to predict us very well in terms of by when can you get education loan. If needed, we can push the bankers to accelerate the process based on your visa, I-20 or any other deadlines you may have. Lastly, how do you get in touch with us, right? One is, of course, you can log into our website. Second is, you can contact us on the number given on the screen. Third is, you can email me directly on my email ID. Fourth is, you can connect on the link given in YouTube video description. I hope to connect with you guys. I hope you found this video helpful. Please like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you.